Yay. Welcome, everybody. This is yours truly, Kurt Roskoff, aka Special K, aka Zeke, and we are having a day. We're putting this one down into the record books, May 7th, 2022. Life just keeps piling on, mounting up, and things get a little bit more dramatic, drastic, and just out of control. So, this is Kurt Roskoff coming at you ballistic and saying, let's get a handle on what's going on in our lives and let's get things smoothed out and let's adapt. Let's be accommodating. Let's be inclusive. Let's make sure everybody's involved. That is the mantra. The world of ability is for everybody. We're taking everybody everywhere, getting logistics down. We're using technology. We're going old school. We're thinking of what can we learn from the Amish? What can we learn from the Mennonites? What can we learn from people who just unplug from the grid? And let's rid ourselves of culture, customs, genetic memory. Let's just reboot the whole planet, shall we? We're bringing it out here, big time, World of Ability. It is founded from back in 2020, July 26th, 2020, the 30th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. So it's a passion to say, yeah, we here in America back in 1990 did a great thing to get legislation going to help people realize that we expect people with disabilities to be greatly involved. And this means, just as a conversation starter, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, deaf community, blind community, people with physical disabilities, people dealing with chronic pain, those who have a mental health diagnosis, and everybody who has a goal of substance use reduction. We go on and on from there, learning about people who have sensitivity to electromagnetic radiation, the EMFs, the EMF fields, electromagnetic fields, and we have sensitivity to fragrances, to perfumes. And so anything that makes it tough for people to participate, we say we don't need it to be so goddamn tough. And let's just get people in and let's figure out with the world of wisdom, what can we do to pull from the knowledge commons and make it something that we can handle and we can help other people enjoy. And when we talk about enjoy, we mean that, hey, what are we doing to have fun together? How are we entertaining ourselves? Like, say, listening to the World of Ability. I hope you find the next 25 minutes immensely entertaining. We are going to have a team meeting coming up here with Happy Happening Heroes. We're going to, in a sense of its own right, it's going to be a little bit of a World of Ability team meeting because things are going to come out of me that my friends here have never seen come from me before. And how appropriate we have it happening right here with Barbara Weinstein, our friend, someone that we want here every week, that we love dearly. And to say, Barbara is the color commentator that brings these life experiences that none of the rest of us are. Barbara, when you talk, you're saying things that I can't offer. I'm 50 years old and I've never offered it. I don't know if I perceive ever in my life I'm going to offer the perspective you bring. So, Barbara, we've been missing you for weeks and you're back on. What's been on your mind? What do you want to share? The microphone is yours. Take it away. Feel free.
Thank you, Ken. You can hear me now?
Yeah, we do hear you. You're coming through good. You're live on StreamYard. Way to go.
Oh my gosh. And here I am with this idea of cause and effect, and we're creating the future. With this moment that we have right now, we're making causes to create a brighter future and trying to understand the mind-body connection and the connection with loving nature and knowing how to love each other, how to communicate. Read in the book, The 5 Languages of Love. I don't know how many people have come across this book yet, but it makes a lot of sense. It says we all have different love languages, ways that we perceive we're being loved, makes us feel the energy that we get when we're being loved, and how to help each other have that. Like people going around with somehow these empty love tanks, and all the different ways by serving somebody, by gift giving, by giving words of of assurance, words of appreciation, by quality time, by doing work, helping other people. There's so many ways to help other people feel loved and to understand the differences. Like, here's this couple, and they were given an assignment that the next month they would not say anything critical at all. They would stop themselves from saying anything critical or even demanding, and they would find the good things they were seeing in the person closest to them, and they would acknowledge that with words. And at the end of the month, the man was just flying. He's going, whoa, made such a difference in our relationship. That was so great. But the woman said she's still feeling very sad and lonely, because words of that I love you or you look beautiful, those didn't help fill her. What was helping her was somebody spending quality time with her, and working on things together. That's what she needed, and that's what made her feel loved. And it's interesting. It's an exciting book. It's for everybody, as we're trying to learn how to be the loving, healing people that we know we have a potential for. And how much faith do we need to have? How we put faith into the world of medicine as well as the world of natural healing, of so many types of healing. And I get to see when I'm excited, when I'm sharing something that's important to me to other people, my body is in no pain. I'm out of my body. I'm into the excitement of what I want to share with others, or when I'm being creative, and how to get ourselves into those higher vibrations, how to help each other, and how to stay there, so we really are co-creators of a brighter future, and we do become more family to each other. So anything that's negative definitely gets divided, and anything that's positive definitely gets multiplied, because that's how family, that's how community works. And Kurt and Denise and Emily, you're such heroes to me, because you stay so strong, and so keep working at it. You're there all the time, and I was so glad that you see me as part of this effort, because it's one of the best things that people are doing. I think conversation just between two people in some part of Africa will affect how we're smelling the flowers here. That idea of the butterfly, right? That we're all connected to each other. And I can't wait till those connections become stronger, so people can come and spend time with me, and I can, go other places, and we can help each other, and we can stay in that momentum of, I have a lot to share, I'm strong, and we're free, and together we can make the impossible possible. We can do anything, and definitely we can have fun and be happy together. And thank you so much, Kurt, Denise, Emily. Thank you so much. And Mary Ann, I'm so glad that we're family, and I'm accepted as a family.
Oh yeah, you're accepted in a big way, accepted with a capital A. And so we're gonna bring in our podcast engineer, Emily Gulmer. Emily, if you can go ahead and get your video on, get your mic on. We want to bring you in. We want to share the experience we're having with our audience, and we're going to finish this segment up strong. And then I need to have a check-in. Do we have Sarah Goodell here yet? Trying to do a roll call. Who's here? Because I can't see everybody. I don't have the controls that Emily has. We're simulcasting over on.
I'm still here, Kurt.
All right, Sarah. So, Sarah, did you by chance get to hear everything Barbara just said? Any reactions or any feedback?
I did. Everything she said was absolutely lovely, and I firmly believe that if we were all just a little bit kinder to one another and a little bit more I can talk today. I really can. I promise you. Accepting of other people's challenges and different abilities and such, but the world would be just a little bit better of a place.
All right, exactly. This is all about making the world a better place. Many of us connected through the Happy Neighborhood Project, spreading happiness around the world. And there's been discussions in the months past from our Chief Happiness Officer, Edwin Edeberry, that there's this thing that people become satisfied in, trying your best and all that kind of stuff. And we can point out that a lot of us don't know what our best is. And that's what I hope happens here at the World of Ability. I hope right as a matter of like the next 15 minutes, I hope people might start thinking, you know what? Maybe I can make my best better. Maybe it can be about my better best. We heard from Edwin Edberry yesterday that, or maybe it wasn't Edwin. Somebody was saying yesterday that if we're not growing, we're dying. I think that was Edwin. Yeah, if we're not growing, we're dying.
Yeah.
So the idea is, what are we doing to grow? What is our plan to go from today, May 7th, 2022? Just do the carpe diem thing, seize the day, make the most of today, but then follow that pattern of plan, do, and review. And how are we reaching inside of ourselves to say, we're at this milestone in our life. This moment is a milestone, and this is what we've got. And what are we doing? Denise says we don't know our expiration date. And the meaning behind it is, let's be optimistic that we've got many years to come. But the other idea of it is, a lot of people passed on thinking that they had the remainder to a day, and that wasn't the truth. They woke up on a day thinking they had many years to come. They didn't make it the rest of the day. So we just don't know. And so we have to live in that vulnerability, that mortality, that honest wrestling that we do, with that, life is limited. Life goes fleeting by. And Emily, I want to call you up here. We're calling you out, Emily. Come on in here. Let's get that, video on, and let's get that microphone on. Join the conversation. You're a rich part of this show. Emily Gallmer right there at the beginning, working with me back in July when we were doing the Ability MK Now shows, and we were getting Anna Marie Oblivion involved in radio show production and seeing how Marcus Hart works, taking the radio shows and putting them out to Transform You Media Network. And then through Helen Weaver, Helen that introduced me to Barbara. If it weren't for our sister, Helen Weaver, Barbara wouldn't be on this call. Everybody is a link to possibilities in our life.
Garrett, we wouldn't be a part of it. We probably wouldn't be a part of the Happy Neighborhood Project if it wasn't for Helen either. With the exception of maybe John Morley. But I think wasn't Helen a big part of why we heard of the Happy Neighborhood Project?
Yeah, so Helen, participates with us in past years on Ability MK Now radio show, experiences how Marcus Hart does the simulcasting over to Transform You Media Network and everything with Anna Marie Oblivion, creating the Prosperity Pathways radio show and podcast, and taking a look at who this guy Marcus Hart is and looking at the Transform You Media side. And lo and behold, there's John Morley, who does the J Moore Tech Talk show, the J Moore Tech Talk show on Transform You Media Network. And she took a look at, who is this John Morley? Looking at his profile, seeing that he's a co-host with the Happy Neighborhood Project New Jersey co-host team, and looked into what is this Happy Neighborhood Project thing, goes to a meeting and thinks, Kurt, this is what we got to do. We got to network at HMP, and just binging on happiness with the Happy Neighborhood Project. And that set us on our way. And then we come to meet Zach Clayton, who has Pact. podcasts all coming together. A production from Community Pay It Forward. And we continue on with Zach, and we connect into the veterans thing. We do our February event responding to veteran suicide, and that inspires more veteran events. And we're involved in a returning veteran event, Hope Stock, that is coming back July 29th, 30th, 31st. We had a meeting several hours ago, a handful of hours ago. We were on Zoom meeting with some friends, majority of which are here right now in this call. And, we did some planning for Hope Stock to make that July event, which it's coming in on us. It's like 10 weeks away and it'll be here. So we're doing countdown on our meetings, and we're doing all of this at the same time as connecting to a ginormous social work project. $20 million project, group taking over a mall in Milwaukee and having every other week Tuesday, they have a group in Milwaukee meet, and they meet over dinner. And so it's a setting that's not conducive to bring to the outside world. And I brought that up, and I'm like, hey, I'm asking for a meeting that can go out on Zoom. And we did that a week ago, and it was quite noisy there. It was not a good way for people to listen in. And so we're regrouping. We're going to a radio station. We're going to a conference room at a radio station. There's going to be 8 of them there that are going to be like our panelists for this project. And then they're going to connect into our Zoom. And our screen share just dropped off of Zoom. So technical stuff is happening every minute in this show. It is amazing. Emily Gulmer working hard and doing stuff I'm not even following.
No, guys, but I wish I had a second screen or another computer. That would be a lot easier. But I just wanted to tell everybody that Mr. Tommy is here. And I was just sending him a message about that we are in a podcast, or finishing up a podcast. So that's what I was doing. And not wanting the whole world to see my message.
No problem. We're doing behind the scenes. We're just divulging what happens here as we wrap up the next 10 minutes of this show. So, Barbara, I want to make sure to give you a lot of mic time. Any more thoughts coming forward in terms of what's vibing in your world, kind of what your adventures are and what's going on in Florida? I know once in a while you travel to other states. What's new and news and amazing as usual in the life of Barbara Weinstein?
Oh, just, I'm seeing so many good people putting so much energy into Toastmasters. I'm in 2 Toastmaster groups where they say that this is where leaders are made, where people help each other feel more confident in communicating our thoughts and feelings to others, and how to listen so that we're encouraging each other and helping each other grow. And then I see, in this Buddhist movement, 193 countries, there's young people just so determined that they're going to be the people that are going to see world peace come about, because they're not pointing fingers anywhere, not trying to blame the government, not wanting to, blame religions and anything like this, other than each person taking responsibility to bring out their potential, to do the best they can with the life that we have. And it's so, watching these book clubs where people come together to learn and to share with each other. And I'm seeing books coming out right now that once you see them, you can't forget what you just read. You can't forget what you've seen, because such a good job. The book Cast that got the Pulitzer Peace Award to help us understand where we've been failing and in the way we've been treating each other, and the difference between at like a rainbow gathering where it's us. It's like we all take turns, like cleaning, the outhouses, or in the kibbutz, same thing. Musical jobs. The only thing that everyone couldn't do was being with the children. you had to really show that you were someone so responsible and so capable for a a length of time. But any other job, everyone everyone could do it proudly and joyfully because we're doing it with friends. You didn't do it for that long. You're going on to something else fun next. I'm seeing there's so much potential. There's so much good. That's like spring. That's like coming up from under the ground, like the lotus flower that comes out of mucky muck, and yet as it blooms, it is so fragrant and so beautiful and so delicate. I'm watching that in the middle of having to understand about operations and natural healing and what I so want to share with people, loving nature. That feels so good. I know, Kurt. I know you know that too. I want everyone to know that, right? You too.
Yeah, I celebrate that you bring up nature because that in lies a little bit of where my passion is at with disability advocacy and advocating to people in power, those that hold the resources captive, basically, and so I'm calling for people to open up resources 33 times greater than ever in history, and in part because of nature. I think it's ever so powerful that 100% of people get the opportunity to get out in nature. I've learned a lot about a product called the Action Track Chair. It's a chair that's a power wheelchair experience that somebody goes into a seat that is to resemble a ride in a power wheelchair, and then the connection to the ground is like a tank track. It's got like that wide belt that turns, and it turns like a triangle, like a tank truck, and so it empowers wheelchair users to get out into the wilderness, to be able to go over and negotiate small branches and stuff that are sitting there. It's not meant to go over big logs or anything, but if there's just like a lot of branches and stuff, leaves, and some minor rough terrain, those action track chairs can just take a person out into nature, out into the wilderness, and do what able-bodied people are able to do because they have the right equipment. That's what I was taught as a child, as a kid. My father taught me, when you are getting into a manual labor project or other projects, come into it with the right tools and equipment. And it's amazing to me to be at this point in my life and see how human beings around the world aren't mapping the resources for a person to have the right equipment to help access, to help mobility, to help freedom, to help embracing what other counterparts, other brothers and sisters on earth do. and and it's something I can appreciate because
I
I
saw that in education too. There's tools out there and not everybody's getting access to them, but I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, it's all good stuff. I mean, that's the point, is that once you get into these conversations, it becomes an exercise of the more you know, the more you realize what you don't know. Like right now, I just found out that our friend Tommy Tong showed up in the back office, and luckily Emily's sharing your screen that I can, find these things out.
And
Yeah,
guys, Marianne of Waikiki is also here on stage.
Oh, we might as well just end the show.
On stage.
Uh-huh.
Tommy is back. Tommy was here, left, and now came back. Now he's back. Now he's backstage.
Oh,
Hey, Kurt,
Tommy.
if I could just say one thing about what you were saying about the wheelchairs, phenomenal wheelchairs that are here for us to use, like even the beach wheelchair and the track wheelchair. Absolutely. What I wish is that as a wheelchair person myself, it would be great to have access to these things. It's again, like when you talk about all your pillars in life, that now goes back to our governments and our insurances, and just getting people to really understand that in order for us to have all the um, uh, amazing things, to be able to participate in all the amazing things that we have here in this great, big, beautiful world. Um, like even the sit ski, right? That you have for your you start this whole realm of being very passionate about helping people with disabilities because you shared that experience. You know, if there was a way that we can get organizations to have these in place for us, and then also, if we wanted to ourselves be able to get these different types of wheelchairs, like even people who play basketball or tennis, there are so many different types of wheelchairs. Unfortunately, we're not able to get them all. So, again, we need to advocate and work together to really try and change the mindset of everyone so that we can have access to that. So I'm really happy that you brought that up.
I'm happy I brought it up too. And we are in the concluding minutes of this show. Mariana Waikiki, we're just going to keep this going for a couple minutes. Go ahead, Marianne, take the mic. What did you bring to us for today? Is Marianne still here? Emily, I need a little podcast engineering help. Did she drop off or you're muted?
Yes.
She dropped?
Yes.
We lost her? All right, Emily, go ahead and finish up the show for us, please. Give us your 3 minutes. It's all you.
Never mind. Never mind. She's back.
All right, we'll bring it back to Mariana Waikiki. We've got just a couple minutes here. Emily and Marianne. Marianne, we'll let you have the mic right now. Take a couple minutes. What did you bring to us today?
Well, aloha, and thank you so much. I'm shifting the happiness over to you. I want to share that May is Better Speech and Hearing Month and Mental Health Awareness Month. And I am so grateful that Brian Roosh is helping me upload my sign language characters to the Acts of Kindness series website that is being federally trademarked with our Happy Neighborhood Project intellectual property attorney, Dr. Liddy. So you're going to want to go check out the website. It's actsofkindnessseries.com. Kurt, I don't know if you could pull it up for me at the same time. I had a one-on-one with Nick Davis from Happy Neighborhood Projects out of Texas and his medical billing. And he helped review the website too, because he has triplet daughters. And we discussed me doing a lunch and learn speaking event. And I'm putting it out to the world for a 30-day finger spelling challenge for the month of May. So you can visit my website, meet with Chelsea, the Courageous Sign Language Chicken, and Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee. That's now on Brian Roosh's YouTube. So we're uploading all this amazing work as we can. Again, waiting trademarks by Dr. Liddy. And Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab. And I've uploaded a couple more Apple games. I've had some challenges this week with my Fiverr team, but they are working very creatively in Pakistan for me. I'm working with my designer right now to outline the sequel book, Cool Acts of Kindness, for the first chapter. And I'm using another writer. So we're testing the waters with him, just getting these ideas flowing and going for climate change and a charity concert, and with the charity app games now, Kurt. So anybody who wants to partner with me, we can discuss how you can use these app games to make charity funds for your organization. For example, I know you've done golf outings, and we have Greta Gobble on the golf course, which is going to be featured in the first chapter. And the first chapter's name I'm going to put is Charity Revolution for Climate Change, featuring our own Trevor Gibbs and his organization. And these characters come together for to create a charity event to discuss how their environment, such as the rain forest on the Big Island or any other forest, or can be impacted by climate change and lead to homelessness, lack of food, and also our eco anxiety how people can feel worldwide, especially for children, which is a huge topic now. So I'm excited to work on this climate change and using all this creativity and bringing it to life. And again, everybody can see it now from thought to action on actsofkindnessseries.com. And we're shifting the happiness and working on the t-shirts design line too. So had some challenges with that with Amazon. I can't use that little heart logo. So you know what the world gives me makes sure it shows that you can overcome these challenges with or without an ability and the ability to strive. So that's why we're all here. So thank you so much for these world of abilities. And back to you, Kurt. I am happy.
All right, so now we're going to wake up our podcast engineer, Emily Gulmer, get her attention. We've got a screen share here. We're going to give that actsofkindnessseries.com a little bit of glimpse as we wrap up this episode here. We're putting in a little bit of bonus time here. Emily, are we screen sharing? Well, now we took away the screen sharing on Zoom and we need screen sharing. I already have it set up. If you see that there's an extra Kurt Roskoff window, it's got the screen sharing of actsofkindnessseries.com. Emily, we need there. So now we need the screen sharing back on our Zoom as we finish up here because we want to finish strong here at the World of Ability podcast. So I am Kurt Roskoff, aka Special K. Proud to be a part of the Happy Happening Heroes, which when we drop off of here, we're going to have a Happy Happening Heroes meeting from Club 100 with the Happy Co-op. Check out the happycoop.com. You can also access it through happyneighborhoodproject.com. And for those on those smartphones and you don't want to type everything all out, you can just go to hnpabc.com. And with that, we're going to leave you with stay happy. And so let's see here. I'm going to play with, there we go. So we are done with the World of Ability. Tune in next week, and we've got 20 shows for you next week right here at the World of Ability Podcast Network. All right, Emily, let's take us off live. We gave a couple bonus minutes. Hooray. And now we can let Tommy Tong in, and we can enter into our